All right, so the Huawei Mate X2. Let me just kind of quickly run down what the specifications are. So it is a foldable from Huawei. It's an inner foldable, not an outer foldable like we've had previously from Huawei. 6.45-inch exterior display, 8-inch OLED main display, which actually folds open. Both have a 90 Hz refresh rate. We've got a quad camera setup, primary, ultra wide, two telephoto cameras, 3 times as well as 10 times. Kirin 9000 5G chipset, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage, 4500 milliamp hour battery with 55 watts supercharge, and the price is going to be starting from around 1800 yuan, which works out to be around £2,000 here in the UK. But when we convert to dollars, we're looking at around $2,700, $2,800. So yeah, I've done a quick sort of summary because they only had the event in Chinese. So we had Richard Yu doing the event in Chinese. So I thought, let me put together a summary of everything. That video is there if you want to see it on the main channel. Okay, so the first thing I want to kind of talk about is the fact that Huawei has now opted to go for the inner fold, the innie, shall we say, rather than the outie.
Yeah.
Now, from the very beginning, like there was this whole debate: what is the better foldable? Now, it was nice to see Huawei go for something different, but the issue has always been durability. I remember I was using the Mate XS for a short time, and because it's a plastic display, you put it down at the table, in and out of your pocket, you are going to get it scratched like very
Yeah.
easily. That just goes without saying, and that just didn't seem like a practical solution. Whereas what Samsung have always had with the Fold 2 is you've got glass on the outside and the display, which they call plastic but still has a plastic sheet on top of it, is always protected when you're not using it. So the phone's going to be closed, it's going to be protected. When you've got it open, I mean, unless you've got razor nails, you'll be fine. So one of the other things that's coming from a lot of the feedback is they've just copied Samsung, and yes, I mean, it looks very
I mean,
much like the Samsung. What do you think?
I think look, if it's better, we might as well go with it. But I think they've also done a few things. The front display is wider than the Samsung's.
Yeah.
It also has a built-in kickstand, which I actually kind of like, especially for.
That's not built in. That's like
I
a
thought.
accessory that comes with it, which you can snap on.
Oh,
As far as I,
thank you. But it looked like I saw an image because it had the same color as the
yeah.
device. So yeah.
So it's something that kind of snaps on. It's an accessory that's
So
included. Yeah.
actually, you've got periscopic zoom though, which is nice on the device.
More camera options. Yeah.
More camera options, except slightly less camera options where there's no internal
Yeah. So
internal camera
yeah.
within the larger display.
So on the Fold 2 from Samsung, when you open up the display and you have the larger display, there's a camera there as well. So if you're doing conference calls or anything like that, then you can use the larger display. You're not going to be able to do this on the Huawei because there is no camera. So although it looks cleaner and it's like, no cutout, you are going to lose that functionality. So it depends on how important that is to you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where I'm glad that Huawei is still doing stuff within that realm. The pricing and all that stuff, I will forgive them for now just because I'm happy they put something out. Honestly,
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to
that's
see
where I am.
the way they've done it is the design is super interesting because it kind of tapers off and it's 4.4 millimeters on its thinnest point. And when the device does close, it's kind of like a diagonal. It's not much of a gap, but it kind of goes at a bit of an angle. So this way you get a much more flat close. Whereas the Samsung, it's not completely flat. So it gives
Flat,
you an
yeah.
overall thinner profile when you're using it when it's closed. Because let's be honest, the Fold 2 is a thick boy when it's closed, right? It's much thicker than you'd normally find on a normal smartphone. Huawei's trying to aim to make it more of a thinner overall device when it's closed, and I do quite like that. I like how they've done the hinge. They've also done this sort of paired teardrop, so that gives you less of a direct crease, but it does give you a bit of a bump. So
Yeah.
there's a compromise there, but I think the competition is definitely good to see. I think foldables are the future, and the more we see, the better it is. They didn't talk about international availability, obviously, and they were talking about Harmony OS coming. So It doesn't look like we're going to be getting it anytime soon anyway, so it looks like it's just with China. But regardless, nice to see.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The only thing is, should the kernel upgrade to the Mate X2, or should he keep his Z Fold 2? That's the question he's asking.
The question is, what do his wives use for video calling? If they use any of the Google services, then it's not going to be any use. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.